hackers, welcome to The Commit. I'm Richard.
I'm Neil.
So this week we've got a special guest, the man himself. How's it going, Swift?
Good, really good. Excited to be here.
So if you've been refactoring the kernel for the last 4 or 5 years and you're just learning who this man is, who are you?
I'm Swift. I'm the CEO and co-founder over at Major League Hacking, or MLH.
That is awesome. So thanks for coming on. So this being our Thanksgiving episode,
Hacksgiving.
Sorry, I'm so off script already. So we thought it would be cool to actually take a look back and reflect on the season. We're kind of come to the end of the college season here in North America. So just kind of wanted to get your sense, Swift, on what happened this season. What's been going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a big season. The fall season is always a really exciting time. Lots of new freshman hackers are going out to student events. I think my biggest takeaway from the fall has been, the number of events is definitely continuing to increase. There's more and more of these regional 300 to 600 people events that are happening all over the place. I think it's really exciting for hackers because basically it means that there's just more hackathons happening near your school. So
you have to travel less.
Yeah.
There's probably more opportunity to find a local mentor.
Definitely.
And at the same time, I think having a large percentage of new hackers enter the field sort of every year means that you don't feel like you're competing against the most elite hackers that have been doing this for 4 years now.
Totally.
You have a little more even
Right,
playing
to get
field.
into the big events, to get into Pen Apps and MHacks, right?
Totally. I mean, 50% of hackers at any given event are new anyway, right? And so
That's an amazing statistic.
yeah, it's a big deal, right?
Right.
And you know what? Honestly, I think a lot of people are going to be excited to skip the 10-hour bus ride to be able to go to a hackathon.
Yeah, for real. That's going to be big. So, what are we seeing at these events? So obviously, Neil and I go to as many as we can, but you and your team are at pretty much all of the hackathons, right?
Yeah, I think we went to a little over 60 this semester alone.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I think the big things I'm seeing, a lot of VR, VR meets the real world, Oculus Rift meets some kind of physical stuff. I saw some really amazing things. Actually, in general, I think when people are doing these real world and software plays, it's really spectacular. I've been seeing a lot of those this season for sure.
So the real world there is kind of then people using the software to bridge out into real scenarios and
exactly. So a cool example I saw a couple weeks ago over at Hack and See, these kids took a sandbox and you would make a world in the sand and then they would do some image processing on the sand and turn it into a Minecraft world.
Oh, that's cool.
neat.
Yeah, it was really neat.
Yeah, that's really fun. And I know that one of the things, and when we released our student hacker report last year, and we kind of looked, actually it was this year, but we looked at what was influencing what people build, and a lot of that is the MLH hardware lab, right? So this definitely brings a lot of hardware to events for hackers to use, right? Do you want to give people an overview of what it is if they haven't heard about it?
Totally. So the Major League Hacking hardware lab is basically a lab that we bring to every official Major League Hacking event that has the latest and greatest devices. So it's got Oculus Rift, Dell laptops, Mayo, Tesla, Arduino, all the really cool stuff that hackers want to use. They can just check it out and hack on it during the event without having to purchase it or anything.
That's really cool.
And you guys have some new additions coming up.
Yeah, really exciting
for
stuff.
The spring season, right?
We do. We're right now rolling out Intel Edisons at every single event. So that's really exciting for hackers to be able to get access to that. And then along with that, we have giant sensor kits that have really cool sensors that are plug and play. So accelerometers, temperature sensors, touchpads, LCD screens. That's going to be at every event now.
And so for those who don't know, the Edison's sort of a small integrated microcontroller. So you can plug all these things in. You're not going to have to solder them as much. And you can still create a really cool hardware hack out of it.
Totally.
That's really cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing what people are able to build those, especially that sensor kit. I mean, that's really fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I think people are always trying to get their hands on as many components as they possibly can, and it's good we finally have them.
Yeah, totally. Less soldering at events, hopefully in the spring.
Definitely.
So what else is new at Major League Hacking? I saw an announcement online about membership. Well, what's this about?
Yeah, so basically we've taken the way we worked with events in the past, and we've kind of rethought how it is. When we started out Major League Hacking, we had basically one way we worked with every event because we were a small team, we were figuring it out. The truth is every event has different needs, and so basically what we've done is created this more modular way that we work with events where they can kind of pick the things they actually need, which we think is really cool.
That's cool. How is this going to change the experience for hackers?
It's not. It's going to be the same experience that you've come to know and love. I think the biggest changes for hackers are two things. One, Major League Hacking is going to start supporting high school events, which is a huge deal.
Whoa.
That's
Yeah,
pretty great.
totally. So there's a lot of high school hackathons out there. There's more and more every single semester. We're really excited to be able to start working with high school students officially.
Awesome.
The other thing I think is really cool is we've taken what was originally our sanctioning guide and we split it out into two things. One is this statement of core values that we think really makes up what a really good hackathon is and what every
Okay.
Major League Hacking hackathon represents.
Cool. What kind of things can people expect to like see on that core values document?
It's things like, we believe hackathons should be free and that money shouldn't be an object of going to them. We believe there should be healthy food, you should have a safe place to sleep.
Right.
Those things that we think really make a great hacker experience.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Awesome. So thanks for the overview. Now, Swift is actually going to stick around for a staff pick, I hear.
I'm really excited, yes.
Cool.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Let's talk about staff picks. This week I picked SkinSense, which was from Hack Duke and was written by Stephen, Ridoy, and Angela. So what this is, it's a native app for iOS built in Ionic and OpenCV. And it actually uses your phone's camera to take a picture of your skin, and then using an OpenCV algorithm, it actually analyzes it to determine whether or not you might have a melanoma, which is one of the most deadly forms of skin cancer. So you take a picture, check your skin, and it'll sort of read out whether or not it sees a potential positive or potential false. Really cool use of technology, really great medical hack, although it is not a substitute for seeing an actual doctor.
Awesome. It also though reminds me of like one of my all-time favorite hacks, right? From YC Hacks, where it analyzes your blood to look for malaria-shaped blood cells. I always remember this hack because I remember being at the expo and I remember Dave Fatano running over me and being like, have you seen this? You need to come look at this now.
That's amazing.
And just my mind being blown. Also, Paul Graham gave the guy a standing ovation.
Wow.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
That's
awesome.
pretty cool. What'd you pick?
Yeah, so I picked the Oculus Bike Simulator from UGA Hacks. It was done by Michael Batone, Ryan Smith, and Neil Thacker. So this is really cool. It's basically an Oculus Rift simulation of riding a bicycle on a real bicycle. So this group of hackers got their old bike, brought it in, basically mounted a couple of Wiimotes on it, and put it on a Lazy Susan so that you could actually like steer it around.
That's
And
amazing.
then put an Oculus Rift on. So
I'm glad it was mounted on something because I was very
We're
worried
gonna fall off,
safety-wise
right?
for a minute.
I can totally imagine. Well, so they actually noticed some really cool stuff, right? Like when people were riding it, even though it was stationary, they were like leaning into corners and trying to actually like,
Yeah.
move the bike.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. It actually got first place at UGA Hack, so really cool
Awesome.
hack. Really proud of them. They did
And there's a
good job.
great like how they built it blog post
Yeah,
up
totally.
on MLH,
So
right?
they did a blog post on MLH, and you can read about how they made it and see the code samples and everything. It's really cool.
That's really cool. So my project is Neural Star in TensorFlow, and this is from Wild Hacks last weekend. And what a really cool project. So what you do here is you feed it two images. You feed it kind of a source image, like a picture, and then you feed it a style image. So in the example here, you can see it's being fed Starry Night. So when you actually get the two, it then processes it through and restyles your source image based on that. All written from scratch, implementing a published piece of research at the hackathon. So really incredible stuff there, and like mad props to that. And all built in Python, Neil, just for you.
All right, I do love Python.
Awesome. So that's it for this week. Thanks for joining us on our Hacksgiving special, Swift.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's really a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Happy hacking.
Happy hacking.